Creating and experiencing. When you really look at the big picture, the simplicity of life, there are only two things we humans can do: create and experience. Everything in life falls under these two categories. From the cellular level, where our body is creating new cells constantly, to the mental and emotional level, all the way down to how we use our creative life force. When we think, we are creating our thoughts, which are specific energy and information. If we focus on a specific thought with enough attention, we'll begin to experience judgment. A feeling of liking or disliking what we are judging begins to unfold. Again, through our own effort, we have created this judgment. If we continue to give these judgments energy, attention with judgment, emotional charge, they will eventually gain enough importance that they will begin to create attitudes, behaviors, and actions that will all end up creating a specific result in our life experience. This creative process applied in reverse is experiencing. To experience an emotion or attitude that one has already created, they must simply become aware of the attitude or judgment, and as they become fully aware of it, feel whatever comes up without adding any more judgment. As the creation is observed with passive, neutral attention, the emotional charge is released. As the charge is released, the belief, the judgment may be released also. The process of creating and experiencing is really very fundamental and simple. We either add energy, our own judgment, to a thought, which is creating, until we feel it as strong and real until we believe in it. Or we observe, experience an existing belief, judgment, or emotion with neutral, passive attention until the charge flattens out and we can let it go. Create or experience. Managing our consciousness deliberately in this way is the only way to true self-mastery. So few people are really deliberate about this process of managing their consciousness, and therefore they get limited results in their lives. People tend to not be deliberate about this ability, and therefore they're not deliberate about their attitudes, beliefs, judgments, nor do they have the ability to experience their emotions effectively. This results in a life that is seemingly random events happening to us. A life where being a victim of circumstances seems to be real to us. We, in fact, always have the power to determine our life path through our decisions, mainly by deciding to deliberately create specific beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors that empower our life. The other half of the Create Experience formula is to fully experience and release the judgments, emotions, and beliefs that we created in the past that hinder us now in this moment. Many times people use the process of create and experience backwards, and they create more thoughts and judgments when they have a feeling come up that they decide they do not like. By creating over our existing thoughts and emotions, we are resisting our thoughts and feelings. We contract our power, we contract our life force, and this results in fatigue, stress, and if continued for long, as a pattern, it'll create disease. Many self-help, positive thinking schools teach this strategy. It is limited at best and has very temporary results that will eventually lead to a stress crisis or disease from denial of our resisted feelings. When we feel resistance, emotions, or sensations that do not feel good, the most effective strategy is to fully allow the feelings to arise, to flow through us until they release and we feel clear again. Again, experiencing our feelings without resistance releases the charge, the stress. When we want to create an ideal, such as a goal or deliberate attitude or belief, we give it deliberate attention and really connect with the feelings, the good feelings that empower us regarding the goal or intended creation. The more we give it attention, the more we will create the right attitude, behavior, and actions to get the results that we desire. When we align with the creative process, which is a skill that must be learned and practiced, we are aligning with the very forces of nature, and seemingly good luck abounds. As we start to gain experience with this process, we'll begin to experience flow in our life, and serendipity becomes normal. People, events, and circumstances will meet our heart's desires in seemingly magical ways. But it is not magic. It is simply the power of our own belief, mentioned in all the mystical, spiritual, and philosophical teachings throughout human history. There are 3 critical components to a strategy that will support you to live a miraculous life. One must develop the ability to operate from their true self, from their center, the aware, silent witness within. The next requirement is that they must learn to live fully in the present moment and experience their feelings and sensations fully without resistance. This includes the judgments and beliefs that have been repressed and stored in the body-mind, what some call the subconscious. Also, the person must learn to create intentions deliberately to align with their heart's desires, their ideals. The great majority of humanity does not operate as their true self, which is known as enlightenment or self-mastery. And there are not a lot of highly effective paths or technologies available that teach a person to reattain this state. This is why so few people are really living a miraculous life, a life of joyful success and self-mastery. Luckily, there is now a direct and effective way to do just that. Contemplate these ideas. What beliefs in this article do you find to be empowering for you? What prevents or hinders people from being the master of their own life? In what ways can managing your consciousness improve your life? What are some things that you could do to improve the managing of your own states?